Our next guest, he also invests big into this fund. In fact, a few times on this show, he's mentioned it as one of his favorite ideas. I want to bring him in. Mahoney Asset Management CEO, Ken Mahoney. All right, Ken, first I got to just want to tip my hat to Kathy Wood. She's been on an incredible ride. Her main fund up 320% from the March 23rd lows. Every time you come on, you say you like it. So where does it go from here?
I think it goes higher. Look, in 2020, we have to see what happened here. I mean, what a mess with the pandemic. And we got pushed to the wall. We got pushed to the brink, and we had to innovate. It was like life or death, scientists, businesses alike. And, this is just the beginning of innovation. I mean, we thought artificial intelligence was growing, robotics, all those type of things she's buying. She's buying all these companies that are disrupting their industries. And if you remember, a good way to play Tesla last year, well, actually, best way to play Tesla last year was actually to buy the stock up 650%. But the second best way to buy was through the ARKK. That's disrupting. Roku is disrupting, Square is disrupting, and that's what it's about. So after 2020, we had to do this big pivot, and here we are. I think we're in the early stages of this. I don't think this goes away. I know that I mentioned on the show the stock was at 60 or at 80. Here's at 146, my friend, and guess what? I still think it has legs. I think investors are still going to rally behind innovation.
So now, ARK, obviously, like any of these fund companies, start to break out into more different funds. Now we've got the Space Exploration Fund. Do you buy the funds? To your point, do you just, or can you look for some of the individual names, like, for instance, Virgin Galactic Space? Would you just own that, or just say, no, I'm going to stick with the fund model?
I like the fund model. That one stock, as you mentioned, that's the only symbol I could think of last time the announcement came out. I'm like trying to think of these different, there's not a lot of space companies, but they'll be buying verticals, right? Anything from materials to engineering companies. Who knows all the different verticals that are in that space. I would rather do it her way, with her research and her team, than try to pick out the individual stocks. And that's where people get hurt. It's trying to pick out the individual stocks, watch it crash, and say, oh, I tried, it didn't work. I think actually the best way to play the space, which seems far-fetched to me, but guess what? Autonomous cars seemed far-fetched a few years ago, and here we are now. So I would actually bet with her. Why not bet with the winning hands all the time, right?
Yeah, no, and I if you even in EV now, the last week has been all about components, electronic component makers, and they make small components, and those stocks are making huge moves. Hey, let's move to the broader market. I want your thoughts. We're sort of struggling here a little bit. It's been sort of a so-so week. We got Biden tonight, of course, coming out with his stimulus plan. I would think it would be gargantuan, and I don't think you'd have a hard time getting it through. So what is this market looking for, Ken, right now? What kind of spark or catalyst does it need to keep the rally going?
So, yeah, I think that number could be like 1.7 trillion to 2 trillion. That's 1.7, a lot of commas and zeros. So it's going to be a lot of stimulus. And again, a lot of consumer discretion stocks should do pretty well. I think earnings visibility. Remember, last year, we gave a lot of companies an out. Because we're dealing with the pandemic, we didn't know what to think. And when companies came out with their earnings, they said, well, the visibility is pretty cloudy. And of course, we gave them the pass because we didn't know what was going on. Not that we know a lot more of what's going on, but with the vaccine and so forth, they don't get that pass now. So I hope the next leg up on this, again, you're right, we're kind of churning around here, but I hope the next leg is because we have strong guidance. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? We get back to good old-fashioned earnings and guidance. All right, Ken Mahoney, thank you very much. The market is meandering as I